So we didn't have to wait long for more darting action as the 2025 Bahrain Darts Masters begins tomorrow evening, at the Bahrain Darts Masters, and obviously the 7 Premier League players minus Michael van Gerwen, which is replaced by Peter Wright at the bottom of the screen there in the order from the PDC representatives, and then obviously we've got the Asian representatives against the PDC 8 players. So we're going to predict every game of round 1 at the 2025 Bahrain Darts Masters, giving my score prediction and a little preview ahead of each game. So we start off with the world number 1 and not defending world champion anymore, Luke Humphries, taking on Abdullah Saeed. Now, I believe Abdullah Saeed was the player that Luke Humphries played last year in this tournament. I could be corrected in that one. And I do think, again, I probably will say this in all of them, it is pretty much one-sided affairs in all of them. And I'm going to go for Luke Humphries, the world number 1, to win this one by 6 legs to 0. It's nice to see that in action back, but I do think it's going to be very, very easy for the PDC players. I'm going to go for Luke Humphries 6, Abdullah Saeed 0. The second game then is Nathan Aspinall against Zong. Nathan Aspinall, of course, a lot of people question him being in the Premier League and obviously having his Premier League place. Obviously he's allowed to be invited into this tournament and in the Dutch Masters as well. And like I said, if Nathan Aspinall is injury free, he could have a very good year and really attack those major tournaments like the Match Play, like the World Championships, the Grand Slam, etc, etc. And I do think he will find it pretty easy against Zhao Sheng Zong, and I'm going to go for another 6-0 win. The third game then sees Stephen Bunting take on Nitin Kumar. Now, Nitin Kumar, alongside probably Lawrence Ilagan, for me, the best hopes of the PDC, or the Asian players, beating the PDC players in the first round. But Stephen Bunting, world number 5, he is obviously the 4th seed in this due to no Michael van Gerwen. And back in the Premier League as well for Bunting, just credit the great year that the Bullet has had. And I'm going to go with Stephen Bunting to win this one 6-1. I'm going to give Nitin Kumar a leg off the Bullet. I'm going to go 6-1. The penultimate game of the top half of the draw sees Chris Dobey take on Mahmood. Again, if I don't pronounce these perfectly, then don't slate me in the comments. Chris Dobey, again, just like Stephen Bunting, back in the Premier League and obviously is a World Championship semi-finalist. Takes on Mahmood, and I do think, again, Dobey is playing some really good darts right now, and I just don't think there's any possible way that Mahmood beats Chris Dobey in this one. I'm going to go for another 6-0 victory. Starting off with the bottom half of the draw then sees the world champion Luke Littler take on Lawrence Ilagan. Now, I mentioned Lawrence Ilagan and Nitin Kumar being the best chance of the PDC players getting a win. And I'm going to go for Lawrence Ilagan to get a few legs off Luke Littler. I think Littler obviously knows that it's, not ranked. It's, an exhibition. It's a big moment for these Asian players. I'm going to go for Luke Littler 6, Lawrence Ilagan 3. I would love to see it. It's probably going to be 6-0, but I would love to see Luke Littler, have a little bit of a scare against Lawrence Ilagan. The next game, Ghetto in Price, taking on Lok Yin Lee. Now, again, I just think even Gezi's bad form, or I can't even say bad form, but just not getting over the line of recent times, you'd still expect Gezi Price to have much better quality to beat Lok Yin Lee. And I'm going to go for another... I'm going to go 6-1 in this one. I think Gezi has the tendency to, slip off, and especially against players that, he should be beating. I'm going to go for 6-1. The penultimate game, is Rob Cross against Paulo Nabida. Now, Nabida had a great run at the World Darts Championship. Obviously, went further in the tournament than Rob Cross, who lost to Scott Williams. And I do think that Rob Cross could have a really strong year this year in 2025. Really go deep in tournaments and sort of reinstate that, model of being one of the top PDC players. And I think Rob Cross wins this one 6-1. And then the final game, Peter Wright against Alexis Tolo. Now, every single one of these World Series events, you've always looked at Peter Wright as the player that potentially could lose to the, PDC, the Asian, the Dutch, the, Australian/New Zealand players, the American players. Peter Wright is always that one player that you think he could slip up. A really solid World Championship for Peter Wright. I don't think he's going to get unstuck against Alexis Tolo. I think he beats Tolo by 6-1. Let me know your predictions down below. As always, guys, make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. The darts is back on your screens, and it starts with the Bahrain Darts Masters. Like I said, starts tomorrow night from about 5-6 o'clock UK time. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Get your predictions down below, and PDC Darts is well and truly back.